Yay! I was gonna say we both have very colorful backgrounds today.
Yeah, I have all fan art.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
cool.
But what are yours? Different toys and stuff like
So
Pee Wee's
many
Yeah, we
Playhouse
got
toys.
like a bunch of Leatherface stuff,
Oh yeah.
Dracula, a bunch of just horror stuff mostly.
Leatherface has been in my house.
Oh, Gunnar Hansen?
Yeah, he was in my house in my apartment twice in
Oh, that
Baltimore. And
He
I met Toby and he took me when I went to Austin, right when the movie came out, and he took me a tour of the set. We got very drunk, and I still have a skeleton head from the set on my desk.
Oh my gosh.
was it? Is it a real skull?
Yeah, it's from the set.
Of
Yeah.
It's
course.
an animal of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
so
from like
cool.
that, yeah.
But Gunnar was great. And I've always said, when people said, "What's your type?" I always say, the hitchhiker with a birthmark and chainsaw is kind of cute. He looks like a
Yeah.
good date to me.
He's kind of lanky.
And we've met now. I'm mortified because he's heard I've said that.
You also got like a man with a skill. He's a photographer.
There
know?
you go.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. He was in the arts.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, Gunnar Hansen, he's someone I wish that we could have met because he was very well traveled. He wrote so many travel books,
Yeah.
and you're also very well traveled. You wrote a book about hitchhiking across the U.S., which I think is such a cool story. And this season in Chucky, there's a scene where Devin and Jake talk about wanting to just run away and take a road trip, and I had the thought, like, I wonder what John would maybe recommend that they go see.
Well, if they should go to Mount Rushmore because that is the most. Every woman looks like Mamie Eisenhower. It's the straightest place in the whole world, but it is scary and creepy, and it's the ultimate outsider art. Crazy people made that. That wasn't something the government hired or
Yeah.
something. I would say that really the whole Chucky gang should go to Mount Rushmore, and they should put Chucky next to him.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, the guy who built that has one of my favorite names, Gutsum Borglum.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can go in the back too, which is even better. You can look around, and it's actually very. And I hate when people say it's surreal. That's the most overused word besides journey, the word I hate the most. But surreal, it is surreal when you're on the backside of Mount Rushmore, peeking around. It's kind of great.
Wait, you can go around the back? Do they have
Yes.
little butts in the back?
No, there's like roads that go up and stuff. I mean, you
Oh.
can drive up there.
I don't
Yeah.
know if we did that when I went. I went when I was
You have
little.
to go exploring further
I-
to see the ephemera of
I
Mount
guess
Rushmore.
so,
The
yeah.
full experience. That's right.
Well, the horror is where there's probably like scary people that are like, obsessed with it, that live in the woods like children of the corn or something.
Yeah, John, I mean, it's an honor to meet you. You're just a legend. We both have fond memories with our mothers involving you because I grew up watching Serial Mom with my mom. She hates horror movies, but that was one of her favorite movies. And
My mother said, like Serial Mom, the best of my movies. And I think it is the best movie I ever made.
I mean, Kathleen Turner is.
And it's coming up. It's Mother's Day. It always plays.
That's right. We're actually covering it on our channel for Mother's Day this year.
Good.
And I'm
It's
so
the
excited
perfect
to
Mother's Day
celebrate
movie
it.
because she is a good mother.
She is. She's very loving and defensive of her family.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little too much good
Yes.
mother.
She has a code that she lives by. I respect it. And then
And she was politically correct before, and it also
Exactly.
eerily was like OJ before it happened. There's
Yes.
scenes in it that are so weirdly like OJ.
That's what blows my mind is I watched it and it comes out in 94. So I'm like, oh, this is a take on the OJ trial. And then I looked up the dates of when it came out. No, that was 2 months before that went down. That's so prescient.
The only thing that Biden, and I'm for Biden, but we'll get political here, that I was shocked that his press woman announced their condolences went out to OJ's family. I was shocked at that. That's
Yes.
the only thing he ever did. I thought, you're kidding. So wow, that just proves how the racial divide was on that. That
Mhm.
really,
Oh, yeah.
I was always amazed that anyone thought he didn't do it, but people really think he didn't.
It was a fraught time for sure, especially in the aftermath of Rodney King, and I think that played a big part in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you and your mom saw his Christmas
I
show.
took my mom to see your Christmas show about 10 years ago.
Oh God, I wouldn't want to be sitting next to my mother hearing that
Oh,
stuff.
we had a great time.
No, she loved
Good,
it.
good, clean family fun. It was so great.
Good. Well, because usually my brothers and sisters say, I'm not sitting next to mom when you say that shit.
So John, you're back in the Chucky series after almost 20 years from when you were in Seed of Chucky, and I
Yeah.
have to imagine you wanted to return because I see a lot of you in Don Mancini, just in the ways that, especially the way he collects people with his filmmaking cast and crew. They're not just a cast and crew; they're family and friends, kind of like your
Well, I agree with that,
Dreamlanders.
but also he has pushed it in new ways, completely horror, gay, underage, interracial, devil worship. What? And and it's on for the whole family, and it's non-binary. The kids are hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved hanging out with the kids. I was with the kids the whole day, telling them hideous stories the whole time about sex clubs in New York and stuff. But their parents were there; they were laughing too. But
Yeah.
the kids are great, and I just like the idea that it's very new. You know how horror has always been reinvented. Then it got scary, and then it got funny after Scream, and then funny after a while, but then went back to torture porn. Well, I think he's gone to a new level that is kind of confusing, non-binary, sexy, underage, devil worship horror comedy.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that because I feel like a lot of the things that are in Chucky, which is this show on cable television on USA, a lot of the things, the swearing and the gore and the main character in a gay relationship, those are kind of the things that labeled you as an outsider in the 70s and 80s. And now they're much more mainstream. Obviously, we're not quite in Pink Flamingos territory here, but I wonder if you feel a kind of like pride over having pushed the envelope enough to move this stuff further into the mainstream.
Well, I don't take claim of it. I just always made bad taste more acceptable in a little way. My favorite is when the kid makes out with Chucky.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
We were laughing so hard at that.
That is my favorite in the whole thing. It's like really funny because I wanted to be that. I was jealous.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
I used to say in my show, I want to make, he's 35 now. I'm not a short eyes. He's an adult. He's an adult. I guess I'm a chicken queen. I'm 76 and he's 35, but still, Chucky looks older.
That's right. He's mature for
He
his
could
age.
pass for 40.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned the kind of shift towards torture porn in the 2000s. Are you aware of the kind of reclamation of specifically Saw, the Saw franchise by LGBTQ horror fans? I'm so obsessed with it. It's become like a very important series to gay horror fans.
But why? Why?
I think
I'm
because
trying to remember, was there a gay plot?
No, not
I think
overtly.
it's just the chemistry between the two guys in the first one. They're chained up in a bathroom together and it's very sweaty and they're yelling at each other. And I think for something about that just clicks with people.
Well, look at the very beginning. Tony Perkins in Psycho
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
was, a little bit shaky.
Oh, yeah. It's always
And,
been there. Absolutely.
And I guess Gunner would be a sexy bear to some people.
Yeah. A bear with a leather
A
face.
bear with a chainsaw.
Yes.
They could do a new version.
I bet that exists already on some website.
I'm
Well,
sure
the
there's
one I
fan
did
art.
show Johnny Depp the cover of Edward Penis Hands when that came
Of
in,
course.
which is a hetero fist fucking movie. And there's not many of them, at least that I know about. I've never even heard of one other one.
There is something I'm curious about because this was a story you told at the Christmas show that I've just thought about ever since. You mentioned having some interesting art of Alvin the Chipmunk, and I was wondering if you still had it and if you've ever.
I do have it. It's in my bathroom in the guest room. It was the original anime. I always said I had the hots for Alvin. And then the animators of the original one sent me a cell they drew of Alvin jerking off.
Oh my gosh.
And you can see his little asshole. It's really lovely, and it's in my guest bathroom.
Oh, that's great. So everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm glad it has a place of honor. It's displayed somewhere.
Yeah, and you still have a Glendale as well from Seed of Chucky?
Glendale, it's in the Academy Award Museum show right now in Los Angeles, but of my everything from my movies. But yes, he sits in my living room. Glenn, Tony Gardner made that. It was my friend who did John Travolta's fat suit for Hairspray. He did a lot of stuff. Worked with him on a lot of things. He's a real talent.
Oh, I didn't realize that connection that he was in, that he worked on.
And his daughter made a documentary about Chucky.
So this season of Chucky, most of it takes place in the White House. And whenever someone becomes president, they and their whole family get nicknames given to them by the Secret Service. And we were curious if you've ever thought about what your Secret Service nickname would be.
No, I haven't. But My uncle was Undersecretary of the Interior for Nixon. And
Really?
when that happened in the late 60s, and they had to investigate my family, and I was at riots with the weathermen and shit. It wasn't, but nothing happened. But and I have a Christmas party I used to every year where the mayor would come and the Secret Service would have to go through my house, and I have one whole room that's a bomb factory by an artist. It looks exactly like the room of a mad bomber, and you should have seen their face when they opened that door. So I'm experienced, and I was invited to the White House by Lee Atwater, one of the most right-wing, insane people. He was a huge horror fan of horror movies, and
What?
he invited me there, and I had a tour by myself with my boyfriend at the time of the White House. He said, Nancy's not here, so come in here. and he showed me the button next to the toilet where you could push it if it was the end of the world or something for Nixon.
Oh
What?
my gosh.
That's
So
wild.
I had a sneak. It was like being over someone's house when they were babysitting, like when the parents were out. Yeah.
That's incredible.
So you did not ever get to meet Nancy Reagan, the infamous.
No, I didn't want to meet her. I like her son.
Oh, yeah?
Her son is the spokesman for the Atheist Association of
That's right.
America.
Yeah.
Which is so amazing.
Yeah.
I thought that was Saturday Night Live when
That's
I saw
wonderful.
Yeah, I found that out as a high school senior when I went through my angry atheist phase, and I was like, that guy rules! So I was very excited.
The only thing I like atheists, but they're all alcoholics.
Yeah. Well, they
My
need
friend
something
that went to the
void.
atheist convention said they were all drunk.
Really? You've met so many people, and I just got to ask this for my own edification. Just because I feel like both of you have and had such interesting worldviews. Did you ever meet Frank Zappa, who was also born in Baltimore?
I didn't, but he was from College Park. He was from Maryland, not Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
I met, Selma Blair married one of his sons, I think. And
okay.
Moon Unit, I still think Valley Girl is one of the best songs ever. Like Brody gagged me with a spoon.
Yep.
It's so great. And there's a statue of him in Baltimore, but I did not meet him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was wondering, I wonder if they would have gotten along.
We were debating.
I think we would have. We would have. He was just a little bit older. And by the time he was famous, he didn't live in Baltimore anymore. He was, But certainly I was aware of him and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought the only potential point of conflict was the fact that he was a teetotaler and that you have enjoyed more experiences.
Yeah, but I'm friends with people that are sober. So,
Sure.
I don't judge that way.
Yeah. You both have iconic mustaches as well.
That's true.
Well, yeah. He's he was great. And Mama Cass was from her. I didn't meet her either, but I didn't meet the most notorious was Madeline Murray O'Hare, the person that got prayer taken out of the schools in all of America. So they would beat her up and break her windows, and they hated her so much. She was murdered by a man named Waters, and before he murdered her, he pissed on his mother's wig. That's one of the oddest things I've ever heard in my life. Why would you do that?
It's always mom stuff.
It is.
I know.
It's always mom
It's
stuff.
often mom stuff.
Like the mom fixation.
But to piss on her wig and then murder somebody. Well, we've all had bad days.
Yeah.
Did you tell this story to the Chucky kids?
No, I didn't. But I'll save it for if it gets renewed, I might have a recurring part.
Yeah, next season
Next
for sure.
season. On our podcast, we dedicated a whole episode to William Castle and his
my
gimmicks.
idol completely.
Exactly.
Yes, so I was wondering.
met his widow. I wrote the introduction to his autobiography after he was dead, and I'm still friends with Terry Castle, his daughter. And I think I owe more to him than anybody in all of show business, because that's who influenced me the most. And I'm still a carny. I still go from city to city. I do the same stuff he does.
I used a lot of Terry Castle's work about her father for research for my episode. He seemed so good. Do you have a specific gimmick of his that is?
Oh,
that
I played him.
Yes, you were in
Feud.
I forgot. I played him with Jessica Lange in Feud.
You chased her around with a hatchet. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have like a favorite movie or gimmick that he did?
I think, I have all the ephemera. My friend Dennis Dermody got me, who has a good podcast, by the way, Cinemaniac. But he got me the original instructions how to put in the Percepto buzzers. And it was really complicated. You had to do each seat in the whole theater. Can you have 3 wires?
Like wired?
But this is the manual of how to put Percepto in. Talk about rare.
Yes,
that's incredible.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just as we're wrapping up here, our researcher mentioned something about you wanting to meet Eminem And I want to
That's
ask
the
about
only
this.
celebrity I've never met that I want to, and I think he must have no desire to meet me, but that's okay.
Well, we're from Detroit, the Detroit area, so we'll put in a word for you with old
All
Marshall.
right. Tell him I'm a fan.
Absolutely.
Well, we're giant fans of you. It was so cool to see you back in the series, and I hope that we get to see you in another season of it. And
Me too.
And just
Let's get everybody watching. So well, they don't have ratings anymore. I don't know how they figure out if people are watching, but they do secretly. They just don't
it's
tell.
all in like a black box. We have no idea how it works anymore.
It's a fucking mystery.
Yeah.
But it was an honor to speak with you, and it was so good to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thanks so much, John.